Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media. Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode takes us to a place very near to the location of one of our prior episodes. On the Kenai Peninsula in the south part of Alaska, the Kenai River is fed by Kenai Lake and Skilak Lake and runs to the brim with salmon at certain parts of the summer. The mountains to the southeast give way to rolling hills, which turn into broad forested plains just before dropping into Cook Inlet. Where the mountains turn into rolling hills is where Skilak Lake is positioned. The peaks here don't soar as high as in other locations in the state, but climb to just below 5,000 feet in elevation. The power of nature is felt here twice a day as the Cook Inlet is filled, then emptied, when the tide rolls in and out. Birch, hemlock, and spruce trees provide an emerald shroud over the land to shelter the huge moose that trod the trails. There are many smaller animals here, including foxes, porcupines, hares, lynx, and black bears. But as they seek the salmon in the streams, it is the huge brown bears that are most dangerous. At around 4:30 p.m. on August 4th, 2015, 20-year-old Gabrielle Markel was getting ready to go for a jog with her co-worker and friend, 26-year-old Caitlin Haley. The two were employees of Alaska Wildland Adventures Lodge, which is located on the southern shore of Skilak Lake. Gabrielle's stepdad, Kirk Hosley, was the president of the lodge and hired the girls onto their 9-person staff for the season. The lodge has 20 guests at a time, at most, and provides its visitors with a high-quality vacation experience without compromising comfortable accommodations, according to its website. It is an ecotourism destination that appeals to those in favor of learning about and preserving nature and resources. Each season, the lodge staff and guests complete bear awareness training, which instructs them on how to be bear aware and safe in bear country. As the young women donned their jogging shoes, they planned out their route for their run. Several trails along the lake passed near the lodge and made easy access to trails of varying difficulties. They chose to run up the Cottonwood Creek Trail, which ran directly south of the lodge, and climbed a few hundred feet along its course. As the salmon splashed their way up the stream, the women covered the better part of a mile, surrounded by the beauty of the forest and the fresh mountain air. As they came up to a sharp turn in the trail, they heard an ominous sound in the brush, only a few feet away from them. Now, a part of bear awareness training is focused on how to handle a bear at close range, and how to utilize bear spray to protect yourself. Gabrielle was carrying bear spray with her on this job, and had practiced using it, just in case she needed it. It isn't clear whether the bear was flushed from cover by the joggers, or emerged from it to attack them, but somehow the massive brown bear met them on the trail. Gabrielle pulled her bear spray up as the bear closed in on her, but was unable to dispense the irritant before the bear attacked her. It focused its anger on Gabrielle, knocked her to her back, and bit and clawed her. Caitlin could only watch as the bear huffed and growled as it stood over Gabrielle. She knew she was powerless to defend her own life, let alone her friend's life, and immediately dashed back toward the lodge to find help. The last she had seen of Gabrielle was of her lying on her back, with the bear obscuring her with its massive body. I can only imagine the fear and terrible thoughts that went through her mind. She used them for fuel to propel her down the trail as she arrived in record time. A small rescue team was quickly assembled and headed up Cottonwood Creek Trail to save Gabrielle. They wouldn't have to search too hard for her, because a few hundred yards from where Caitlin had left her, Gabrielle was now slowly walking toward them. Gabrielle was bloody and beaten up, but was able to communicate. The group looked around to see if the bear was following her, but couldn't find it. The rescuers assisted Gabrielle back to the lodge and started working on cleaning her wounds and stopping the bleeding. There were several bite wounds on Gabrielle's head, back, and arm, along with several deep scratches from the bear's claws, but nothing immediately life-threatening. In bear attack terms, her injuries were mild compared to what they could have been, which is kin to saying it was a moderate grenade explosion. They knew that injuries from a bear attack can be misleading, though, and appear to be not as serious as they are. While at the lodge, the staff reached out to 911 to request help to the lodge for Gabrielle. The dispatch guided the lodge staff through assessing Gabrielle's injuries, and they agreed that the best thing to do would be to get her across Skilak Lake to the boat launch southwest of Sterling. Gabrielle was helped into the boat for the half-hour boat ride across the lake, where an ambulance was waiting for her. She was taken to the local medical center, but her wounds were too serious for treatment there. A helicopter flew Gabrielle to Providence, Alaska Medical Center in Anchorage for further medical support. Gabrielle was admitted in serious condition, but by the following day her status had been upgraded to good condition. As a precaution, the refuge temporarily closed the Cottonwood Creek Trail until an investigation could be completed. Stephen Miller, who is a deputy refuge manager, stated that the investigation would focus on the cause of the bear attack and wanted to see if there was an animal carcass near the trail that the bear could have been defending. After looking the area over, the investigators determined that Gabrielle's attack was most likely a defensive attack due to the women jogging up too close to the bear. He stated that the salmon were running up the creek, which would bring bears to its banks. Rushing waters and streams can drown out the noise of approaching people, as well as bears, setting up a potentially tense confrontation. Miller also stated that there was no way to identify the bear since it had immediately fled the area. He noted that the refuge was not interested in putting the bear down due to the nature and circumstances of the attack. Following Gabrielle's attack, Jeff Sellinger, a biologist with the Alaska Department of Fish and Game, pointed out that there are typically 2 or 3 bear attacks in this area each year. Ken Marsh is a spokesman for the Alaska Fish and Game. He advised people who find themselves involved in a confrontation with a brown bear to fall into a fetal position, covering their head and neck the best they can. Laying still should cause the bear to see that you are not a threat, and it will generally lose interest in you and leave. This advice works great when fish are running and bears are content, but after the salmon stop running, Mr. Marsh fails to list a strategy to deal with a bear demonstrating predatory behavior. After completing their investigation, authorities declined to identify a clear cause for Gabrielle's attack. Alaska Wildland Adventure Lodge's general manager commented that employees had been hiking the trails around the lodge for 15 years without incident before Gabrielle's attack. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. How do you know if you should curl into a fetal position or defend yourself in a bear attack that occurs within only a few seconds? Given the bear bit Gabrielle's head, do you think it was trying to kill her? Since there were no cubs sighted at the attack site, was this bear defending its fishing grounds? Is ecotourism a realistic business model, or does it intrude into bear habitat unnecessarily? I'll be glad to read and respond to your thoughts, so please post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it. Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.